about the slowest of those three, actually, and Irvine the latest on the break. So there might be a few tears here in these last few laps of the French Grand Prix. And meanwhile, Frentzen looking very, very strong up front. I think he's going to take another second out of Häkkinen on this lap. So Frentzen, if Louise is right, and I'm sure she is, he's not stopping again. He is very much sailing towards a win for Jordan.
Well, the gap between Barrichello and Michael Schumacher is only about 4 seconds. Incidentally, when Martin was talking about the Nürburgring, that was the Nürburgring in Germany, not the Nürburgring corners here. The corners here are named after different circuits. Oh, yes, and Eddie Irvine goes through. Eddie Irvine goes through.
Very, very cheeky, but it is possible. He just proved it. But Ralph's the one who gets the grip out of the corner, and it didn't count after all that. But a typical Irvine move.
Eddie Irvine has given notice to Ralf Schumacher that he wants that 5th position, which he had momentarily. Here he goes on a replay, dives through on the inside of the Williams, closes up on his teammate Michael Schumacher, and then Ralf pays him back.
Yes, you can have it on the way in, or you can have it on the way out. You can't have both. And which Ferrari is that? That's Ralf going down the outside of Michael. So Michael definitely got some kind of pace problem. Can Ralf find some traction and get ahead of Michael? Yes, he can. He's going to beat Michael down to the Nürburgring chicane. Something wrong with that Ferrari.
Yeah, that'll be an aftermath of this. And now Eddie Irvine has just got to maintain station. This will enable Ralf Schumacher to pull away in that 4th position and consolidate it. Irvine's going through.
He's not allowed to do that in his contract, is he? He won't be allowed to do that, for sure.
I don't know. It's not inconceivable that. Well, it doesn't make any difference to Ferrari, of course, whether Schumacher finishes 5th or...
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. For the World Championship, Murray. I mean, they'll be wanting Michael to get maximum points in the squabble.
I withdraw, you're right.
With Mika on that, but Irvine cheekily coming up the inside of Michael. He'll be getting the call in a minute.
Well, now,
stay away, because he has to contractually.
Yeah, we haven't lost sight of what's happening at the front. Frentzen is on his last lap but one, and he's 5 seconds ahead of Mika Häkkinen. It looks as though we are indeed going to see a famous and incredible second historic Jordan win in Formula One here at Magny-Cours in France in 1999. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is on lap 71 in the 72-lap race. He's increasing his lead over Mika Häkkinen. Mika Häkkinen would be very disappointed to lose the win, but he's going to finish ahead of his World Championship rival Michael Schumacher and thereby increase his lead in the World Championship.
Well, is this going to rub salt in Damon Hill's wounds or what? If he did pull out of this race like he was suggesting, and it is his final race, just to add very much insult to injury, Frentzen looks like he could well win it in the same car.
And look, Irvine is... we're with Frentzen now. This is Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who started his Grand Prix career driving for the Swiss Sauber team in Formula One in 1994. He drove for them in 1995 and 1996. He switched to Williams in 97, where he won the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola. He wasn't a happy man.
Sorry, Murray, but he was completely nearly on opposite lock in the middle of that corner. He was well out of shape. Mika's dropped back. He's 7 seconds behind now. Häkkinen given up the fight. So Frentzen on his merry way. Sorry to interrupt, Murray. He was well out of shape.
That's all right. I was just giving a bit of history to say that he drove for Williams last year. He wasn't a happy man. He joined Jordan this year, and my goodness has he been pleased. 2nd in Australia, 3rd in Brazil. This is going to be 10 World Championship points if he can just bring the Jordan home for these last few corners, and there would be no justice if he could not. Remember, they're getting out into the pit lane now. Eddie Jordan nearly in tears of worry, because Heinz-Harald Frentzen comes out of the right-hander very shortly at Chateau d'Eau. He will then only have the drop down to the chicane, turn 12, turns 13 and 14, to win the Grand Prix here at France in absolutely scintillating form after having fought every inch of the way. And he's out of Chateau d'Eau now. This is an historic moment. Heinz-Harald Frentzen clears the chicane, lines up the last corner, and Jordan and Heinz-Harald Frentzen win in France. Magnificent. Wow, what a French Grand Prix.
Well, it's amazing. Remember, McLaren had it in the bag early on, then it had a big change around and Ferrari looked like the team, then McLaren again, and Jordan ended up winning the race. Barrichello was the only other main contender all the way through. Somehow, Frentzen has come through and won the race.
Indeed he has, with Mika Hakkinen in second position. This is both Jordan's and Heinz-Harald Frentzen's second race. Here is Rubens Barrichello coming home in a worthy third position after having led the race so stalwartly for so long.
Yes, Barrichello on the podium, and well, let's remember one thing. The Jordan team very much won that race because they had the forethought to fill the car up and not have to pit again. That is what won the race. Louise is with Eddie Jordan.
Eddie, what a day. I can't believe it. One Jordan driver, one announced his retirement. The win, first of all.
Well, I think we seem to like the wet weather. I think that's quite obvious. And, I mean, after last week in Canada, Heinz-Harald really, what can I say? It was a good strategic plan. I don't know why, but the pace car just suited us, and we just thought we had enough fuel to get to the end. And strategically from the team, it was a brilliant move, but I mean, what can you say about Heinz-Harald Frentzen? He never made a mistake all weekend. And truly phenomenal drive.
But what about this news from Damon that this could be his last race? Surely you're not going to let him not appear at Silverstone.
You know, these decisions have to be made by the driver at the time, and I'm aware of what he said. It was reported to me. Damon is truly one of the best people I've ever met, and everybody must respect his wishes, and only he can make that decision. And whatever they are, I support him.
But now, Eddie, back to the celebrations. Well done.
Well, I'll tell you what you can say, Eddie Jordan. You can say that Heinz-Harald Frentzen has become a superstar. As Ian Phillips is as euphoric as Eddie Jordan. We go for a break, but we'll be back for the celebrations.
And there we are up at the podium now, Michael Douglas, the film star, who I believe has got something to do with the Stallone film on Grand Prix racing. Let's pause now for the national anthem. Yeah, fantastic, and Eddie Jordan singing along there with great gusto. What a popular win, and there's the trophies, magnificent looking trophies. And it's unusual to see Michael Douglas, a film star, handing those out, AJ.
It certainly is, considering it's France. I mean, normally they like to get one of their dignitaries or the head of the Automobile Association or whatever to present to the winner is most